In the busy city of Veggieville, every vegetable seemed to have life figured out. The carrots were famous athletes. The tomatoes were celebrities. The onions owned successful restaurants. And the broccoli? They were billionaires. But Pete the potato was different. He lived in a tiny apartment, barely had enough money to pay rent, and everyone treated him like a joke. Whenever Pete talked about becoming rich, the other vegetables would laugh. "You're a potato, Pete. Your destiny is fries, chips, or mashed potatoes." But Pete refused to accept that. Every day, he stared at the giant towers owned by Broccoli Boss, the richest vegetable in the city.
Huh. Keep staring, kid.
One morning, Pete made a decision. In 1 week, he would become rich, no matter what. His first idea was simple: a lemonade stand. Pete spent every coin he had on lemons, cups, and a colorful sign that read, "Best Lemonade in Veggieville." The grand opening finally arrived. Pete waited, and waited, and waited. Not a single customer showed up. Hours later, a customer finally appeared. Banana Bob. Pete was thrilled. This was his chance. But before Bob could even take his first sip, he slipped on a banana peel, crashed into the stand, and destroyed the entire business in seconds. Pete had officially made $0. Still, he didn't give up. His next idea was even bigger. He decided to become a motivational speaker. Pete created an online course called "How to Become Successful." There was just one problem. Nobody wanted success advice from a potato who lived in a one-room apartment. The business failed almost immediately. For the next few days, Pete tried everything: selling products, starting businesses, offering services. Nothing worked. Then one day, he noticed something strange. Every vegetable in Veggieville was staring at their phones, at restaurants, on buses, even while walking down the street. Everyone seemed obsessed with social media. And that's when Pete had a new idea. He would become an influencer. He borrowed an old phone and started making videos. He danced. He sang.
Woohoo! Let's do this!
He told jokes. He completed challenges. He uploaded content every single day. A week passed, then 2 weeks, then a month. His results? 3 views. 1 was from Pete, 1 was from his mom, and the third was probably an accident. Pete was ready to quit, but then something unexpected happened. While carrying groceries upstairs, Pete tripped. He bounced down an entire flight of stairs. Hit 3 walls, knocked over a box, and somehow recorded the entire disaster. Without realizing it, he uploaded the video. The next morning, Pete woke up to a phone that wouldn't stop buzzing. Thousands of notifications, hundreds of thousands of comments, millions of views. The video had gone viral overnight. People couldn't stop watching. They replayed it, shared it, turned it into memes. Pete couldn't believe it. For weeks, he had worked hard creating content, but the internet only cared about him falling down the stairs. Soon, companies started calling. Brands wanted sponsorships. News channels wanted interviews. Pete became the most famous potato in the world. Money started pouring in. He bought a luxury house, fancy cars, designer clothes, and before long, he was even richer than Broccoli Boss. A few months later, Pete was invited to speak at Veggieville's annual Success Summit. Thousands of vegetables gathered to hear his secret. Everyone expected a powerful lesson, maybe something about hard work, or discipline, or determination.
With a diamond car?
Pete walked onto the stage and smiled. The crowd went silent. He adjusted the microphone and said, "After years of trying to become successful, I finally discovered the secret." The audience leaned forward. Pete paused dramatically, then said, "The internet doesn't care how hard you work." The crowd looked confused. Pete smiled. "It only cares how funny you look when you fall down the stairs." The entire audience burst into laughter. The end.